What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I love to talk about all things Peloton cycling and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday, and today's video should be a fun one. I'm going to be reviewing Cliff's Intermediate 3-day split in German on Peloton. It is a strength split program, and I am kind of addicted to trying new splits, which I know that is like not the point of splits. You're supposed to do one and commit to one and do it for several weeks over and over again. But I just love seeing like what the instructors do, how they program it. I've never taken a strength class with Cliff, mostly because it is in German, which I'm slightly worried about, but I have taken Irene's 3-day split, and that one had subtitles. So crossing my fingers, this one also has subtitles. If not, it's usually not that hard to follow if it's in a different language, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And yeah, I just love 3-day splits in particular. I feel like 5-day splits are pretty intense in my schedule since I like to do a lot of different kinds of workouts like cardio and yoga as well. So 3 days just fit into my schedule well. And I'm excited to see how Cliff programs things. I really enjoyed Irene's split, so I'm curious if they program things similarly or if they are completely different. We'll find out. So the description of this program is welcome to Cliff's Intermediate 3-day split. Light up your body activity with this full body workout that will leave you feeling primed and ready to push to the next level. It's 3 days and it's 30 minutes per day. And we're going to start with day 1 today, which is a 30-minute upper body push. The description is, this dynamic power phase workout for the upper body will hone your chest, shoulder, and tricep muscles. And push is probably my weakest part of my body, so whenever we're working on it, that's good. And I'm excited to see what Cliff brings to us today. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and knock out the first day of this 3-day split. I really enjoyed that class. I just feel like it is exactly what I want in a split. We got in, we did some hard work, we did a lot of repetitions, and then we got out. There were no subtitles, which was a little unfortunate, but I still felt like the class was very easy to follow, mostly because all of the workout moves he says in English. So if we're doing a tricep kickback, he's saying tricep kickback. Even in the warm-up, we did cat-cows, and he says cat-cow, which I think is kind of interesting. But yeah, definitely not that hard to follow. There was a little bit confusion in the last set, but I honestly don't feel like it detracted at all. And it's honestly kind of nice because when he speaks a language I don't know, I just kind of zone out. I am comfortable enough that I know the moves that we're doing. We didn't do any crazy, difficult to follow moves. So yeah, it was fun. I jammed out to the music a little bit more. The music was mostly rap, but American rap and popular rap. So I really enjoyed the music. I feel like I like listening to rap when I work out. So yeah, really no complaints there. We started off, we had a 4-minute warm up. The first 3 minutes was body weight and very just, opening the shoulders, getting them ready. We did some swimmers. We did, cat-cows, things like that. It felt good. Then the last minute, we just held a weight above us and rotated to, again, warm up the shoulder. Then we got into our first set. There were 3 sets. And yeah, I like the way that these sets were structured. Basically, we went from biggest muscles to smallest muscles. So we started with a wide grip chest press. We did 50 seconds of that, then 10 seconds rest transition, and then 30 seconds of a crush press. And I knew I wanted to go heavy on the weights, but I didn't want to go super, super heavy. It's been a hot sec since I've done really intense strength. So I chose 25 pounds for the wide grip chest presses, and that was definitely a push, especially because he wanted us to lower slowly, which just adds more time under tension. But I felt 25 pounds was good. Crush presses, I was unsure if I should do 15 or 20. I ended up doing 15, and I actually feel like that is the right weight because this is like a superset where you're essentially going from one move to the next and you're using the same muscles. The 15 like felt challenging still. It was still a push, and yeah, I just focused on like pushing the weights together as well as lifting them up, and I feel like I got really good form on them and like got a lot out of it at 15 pounds. I probably could have struggled through 20, but I think 15 pounds was good. And then we got a 1 minute rest, and we did this 4 times in all. I love a simple set that we repeat a lot of times, and that's definitely the theme of this class, so I was very happy. Then our second set was also a superset where we did 30 seconds of Arnold presses, and then we went straight into 30 seconds of alternating push presses. And I, again, did not know what weight to use. He said to use medium weights, and I thought for Arnold press that 20 pounds would be too hard, but then for push press, 15 pounds might be a little easy, especially with alternating. But again, I feel like by the time that I did the 30 seconds of Arnold presses and then going straight into the push presses, I could just go like a little bit faster with the push presses using the 15 pounds. And it still felt like a good challenge, a good push. I was still waiting for my recovery. And we did that set 4 times as well with a 1 minute rest in between. Then for our last set, we were doing, the smallest muscles, so triceps. And I did miss that this was a 6-minute AMRAP. I didn't hear him say AMRAP. I don't know if he did or not, but I just followed along with him. I honestly just thought it was like a superset with not a lot of recovery because he did like take a break at the beginning of each repeat for like 10 seconds. So I was just following along with him, and I don't feel like I lost anything from doing that. But it was tricep kickbacks. I used 15 pounds. Lateral raises, which I thought about using 15 pounds for approximately 2 seconds and then grabbed 10 pounds. And then push-ups, and he did his on his knees, and I'm like, I'm also doing them on my knees. Like when I was in the, extended portion of the push-up, I could see my arms shaking, which means we got a good workout, and we also could not go off our knees for these push-ups. And we just did that until the end of class, and the class was over. I, again, really, really love this class. I love the setup, love the music. I feel like Cliff was in a great mood. It was funny because he would sometimes sing along to the like rap music. So he's like, I woke up in a new Bugatti, and it was just like funny to listen to because it's like the only thing I can understand him saying. But yeah, I just like love the structure of this. I feel like we set out what we needed to do, and I'm really excited for the next 2 classes in this split. If they're anything like this, I would retake this split. So today, enjoyability, honestly, I would give it like a 8.5 out of 10, which is very high for me for push days. Push days are usually my least favorite, but I just, again, love the way that this was structured. It was a good time. And difficulty, I would give it like also an 8.5 out of 10. Like we were really pushing. The stacking, the movements using the same muscles was definitely a push. And I was also, trying to choose weights that would challenge me. But honestly, I did some lighter weights than I would normally choose, and it was still a challenge because of the way that it is programmed. So overall, I would highly recommend this one, and I'm excited for the rest of this split. It is now 2 days later. It's Saturday morning, and yesterday I was a bit sore. I could definitely feel it in my chest, definitely feel it in my shoulders, but I like a little bit of soreness. That means we're working. So today we have day 3 recommended, which is class 2. It's an intermediate 30 minutes legs and core class by Cliff. The description is, this split workout focuses on strengthening the main muscles in your body while improving core and lower back stability. And I usually like leg day, usually gets your heart rate up a little bit more. Jury's still out on core, but we'll see what Cliff brings us. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and knock out class 2 of this split. Another great day from Cliff. Honestly, I kind of wish that this class was 45 minutes, which I don't think I've ever wished a class to be longer. It's just that we did a good amount of work in the 30 minutes, but with leg and core, I feel like we were having a good time. We could have gone a little bit longer, but for the 30 minutes we had, I felt like it was a useful 30 minutes. So we started off 5-minute warm up. This was pretty much completely mobility with like a little bit of body weight work at the end. We did things like the 90-90 angle that you make with your legs, like switching back and forth there. Then towards the end, we did like some body weight squats and we did single leg deadlifts with no weights just because we are doing those in the future sets. So also I love that. I like doing body weight like warm up and then having it come in with weights later, just so you can kind of like get a feel for the moves, wake up the body in the right way. Then we got into our first superset of the day, which was 50 seconds of dumbbell squats with your weights racked up, 10-second transition where we dropped a weight, and then 30 seconds of lateral lunges where we like went back and forth on each side. And I used 25 pounds for this. Cliff said to use heavy. 25 pounds is a push weight for me for the squats. Definitely hard. He also wanted you to like go down slowly and then go up more quickly. So obviously more time under tension. Like, yeah, my heart rate was like 150 by the end because we did this set 4 times. So that's a lot of squats. By the last set, I was really working. The lateral lunges, I felt good at the drop weight and just having 125 pounds. I didn't think it was like anything super hard, 30 seconds, but it was nice to like tack on another move. I do like the superset format. And then we had a 1-minute rest in between each time we repeated it. I like that set, no complaints. And honestly, by the time that this set was over and we did the warm up, we were already like 15 minutes through the class. Then we went into our next set, which was mostly single leg deadlifts with a little core. So we did 45 seconds single leg deadlifts on one side, then immediately 45 seconds single leg deadlifts on the other side. And here he wanted you to do the single leg deadlift and then like bring your knee up in front of you. So yeah, that's definitely a challenge on balance. I was definitely not wearing the best shoes for that, but we got through it. I used 20 pounds, which I thought might be a little bit light, but I do think in the context of this class, it was fine. And like, it was still a push. Like we are doing the deadlifts for a minute and a half. So we were still working. Then we got a 15 seconds transition to get down on the mat and do a little core. We did 30 seconds of dead bugs and then 30 seconds of just holding a hip bridge. I personally think that these core moves are pretty easy, but I honestly think maybe my core is just getting stronger finally, because I also felt like the core burnout at the end was not bad, but we'll get there. So then we had a 1-minute rest and we did this set 3 times. And then at the end, we just had 3 minutes left after these sets. Like these supersets are so long, especially with the rest period. So we're really flying through the class. We finished off with a 3-minute core finisher, which was 30 seconds of dead bugs on one side where you were like holding your opposite hand to your opposite knee and applying pressure, which really wakes up the core, makes it harder than a normal dead bug. And then doing dead bug just on one side, then 30 seconds of doing that on the other side, 30 seconds of bicycles, 30 seconds hip bridge, 30 seconds of forearm side plank one side, and then 30 seconds of the side plank on the other side, and then we were done. Yeah, this core section I felt like was not bad either. I don't know, I guess they're kind of moves that I like. Bicycle was probably the hardest for me, but like dead bug and hip bridge and side planks are not that bad. So, we got through it and then the class was over. I really enjoyed this one. Very simple programming, easy to follow. Don't feel like I missed anything because it was in German. It's funny because he just says like random things in English. Like in the middle of class, he's just like, we can never skip leg day, like in English. And it was funny. And yeah, he sings along to the English song. It was all like kind of club music today, which was fun for leg day. Enjoyability, I would give this like a 8 out of 10. I honestly feel like it'd be a little more enjoyable for me if I pushed even harder. I feel like I pushed hard on the first set, but maybe I should have gone up to 25 pounds on the second set as well. I don't know. Or I just wish that this class was a little bit longer. I do appreciate the minute of recovery, and like especially on the first set, I needed that minute of recovery. But yeah, it does eat away a lot of the class time too. Difficulty, I would give this one like a 7.5 out of 10. I feel like it wasn't as hard as the class 2 days ago because the like superset stack was not exactly the same muscle. So you kind of like didn't get that bonus of like using the same exact muscles. But that's also fine. I still feel like today was a good workout. It was challenging, got to push the weights, good class. And I'm excited to see how Cliff wraps this up next time. It is now 2 days later, and we're ready to wrap up the split today with an intermediate 30-minute upper body pull class by Cliff. The description is, grab your weights and get ready for this upper body split workout that focuses on strengthening your back and biceps. And I think pull day is my favorite, and I've been loving this split so far. So we're going in with very, very high expectations, but I believe in Cliff. I don't think he'll let me down. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and wrap up this 3-day split. I really, really like that class. Great way to end the split. Very consistent with the other days. At the end, I could literally see the pump from this muscle, which is crazy. I don't think that's ever happened before. We were definitely working. I was definitely pushing the weight. I had high expectations going in, and I honestly feel like they were met. So we started off 4-minute bodyweight warm-up, mostly mobility work. We're getting mostly the back open, ready to work. Today is back and biceps. So that was expected. We did like a little bit of like core work too. Like we were in a like upside down tabletop and pushing our hands to our knees, which just like activates the core a little bit. So that was interesting, but yeah, no complaints with the warm up. That was good. Then we got into our first superset of the day, which was a lawnmower row on one side for 45 seconds, lawnmower row on the other side for 45 seconds, 15-second transition into 30 seconds of supinated row. And I knew I wanted to push weight for this. We did this set 3 times. I knew I wanted to push weight. So I used 25 pounds for the rows, which I do feel like was the right weight. That's a pretty good push weight for me for a lawnmower row. And for the supinated rows, I was unsure because I honestly haven't done a supinated row in a hot second. So the first time I did 15 pounds because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to feel really burnt out from the lawnmower rows, but I actually felt okay. So for the next 2 sets, I pushed up to 20, and I'm proud of myself for pushing up to 20 because the 20 was not actually like that bad. Like I was like, oh, if I push up to 20, am I just going to like kill myself? But I didn't. I got through it, and I'm glad that I pushed weight a little bit and challenged myself there. Then we went into an EMOM, and I will say the EMOM was a struggle because I didn't know how many we were supposed to be doing. We did odd minutes, a dumbbell lat pullover with a heavy weight, so I used 25 pounds. I did 8, and I feel like that gave me a good like 15 to 20 seconds of recovery. Because on the even minutes, we did concentrated curls on one side and then the other side. And I used 20 pounds, which is a huge, huge, huge push weight for me for a curl, even a concentrated curl. And I did 6 on each side. And basically that allowed me no recovery on the concentrated curl minutes. At the beginning, I was getting like 5 to 10 seconds, but yeah, definitely burnt out fast on that one. So I gave myself like a little more recovery on the dumbbell lat pullovers and then less on the concentrated curl. We did this EMOM for 8 minutes, so 4 of each minute. And man, oh man, I mean, the dumbbell lat pullovers were not that bad for me, but yeah, the concentrated curls, definitely a push. But I'm glad that I stayed at that push weight, We got to push ourselves on pull day. And then we finished off with a 6-minute AMRAP. This one, I did catch the number of reps you're supposed to do, I think, because he says them in German, but they're like kind of similar to English. So we started off doing alternating bicep curls, having our weights wrapped up and then doing 1 at a time. We were supposed to do 6 on each side, so 12 in all. Then reverse flies, I believe you're supposed to do 8, and then finishing with renegade rows, which we were supposed to do 10, so 5 on each side. Cliff used the same weight the whole time. I feel like typically I would go up a little bit higher in the renegade rows, but I think that for like an AMRAP, it's easiest to just use the same weight. And honestly, 15 pounds was definitely a big push. I feel like bicep curls, 15 pounds is like solid for me. It's definitely on the harder side for reverse flies and then a little bit on the easier side of renegade rows, but doing this all for 6 minutes straight with no break definitely a push. I could really feel the pump at the end. And yeah, I like the challenge. The first time Cliff did the Renegade Rows, he did them on his knees, like still in a plank position, but on his knees. And then the second time he went off his knees, and I was like, no, I'm gonna stay on my knees. I definitely usually do them off my knees, but man, oh man, I was tired. Like, I really pushed weight on every single movement that I could get. And yeah, it was a good class, definitely a little less recovery than the other classes just because we did an EMOM and an AMRAP versus like more supersets that have the full minute of recovery in them. But yeah, I enjoyed this class a lot. Enjoyability, I would give like a solid 8.5 out of 10. Really, my only complaint is that the EMOM, I didn't know how many reps I was supposed to be doing. I was like trying to count how many he was doing, but it's like hard to be looking at the screen the whole time, counting like how many you're doing and how many he's doing at the same time. So it would be nice, like, yeah, I just feel like subtitles would make this program a little bit better. Even if they just put like the number you're supposed to do on the screen, that would be helpful. But you know, it's all right. We got through it. And difficulty, I would give this one an 8.5 out of 10 as well. Definitely pushed myself a lot with the weights, but we still did get like good recovery. And like with the EMOMs and the AMRAPs, we were kind of using different muscles. So that was nice that it wasn't like the same muscle over and over again. But yeah, definitely worked hard today. I overall love this split though. This is one of the best splits on Peloton in my opinion. I would 100% take it again. I just feel like it's laid out so nicely, and I just feel like you get in, you do the work, and you get out, which I really, really appreciate. And I think that the music is good. It's all like pop music or rap music, all American music. So yeah, I feel like it's a fun time. If you spoke English, it would maybe be more fun, but it maybe be less fun. It's kind of nice to like zone out and just focus on the moves and like don't pay attention to what the instructor is saying. So that is my review on Cliff's 3-day split. More splits just dropped from English instructors, so I'm excited to take those. But I definitely want to loop back at some point and take even more German splits because it's fun, and I feel like I really like the way that the German instructors program their splits. So I'm always interested to see what they bring to the table. Let me know if you've taken this split. If so, what you think. If you've taken any of the German splits, and if you have, what is your favorite? I would be curious. That is it for this video. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.